Good evening, it's Sue from Snake River Stamping. Welcome to my stamp room tonight. Oh, I forgot to turn my lights on back there. Oh well, we'll have to live without lights, but I did take the wreath down, yes, and I put up a January picture with the lights. So anyway, maybe next week I'll remember the lights. We'll see. I am pre-recording this because I didn't think Charlotte had a game this week, but on Tuesday, but she does, and it's her senior year. So, we don't like to miss any of her games and all the things that go on for a senior in high school and off to college next year and everything. So we try not to miss those, and that's why I'm pre-recording. And I'm going to be pre-recording a lot of videos because, as I told you last week, I have some upcoming surgeries, and I'm going to be putting hopefully a few things in the can to kind of get me through some of the downtime that I'll have. But still, it's been really fun. I've been making cards like mad, and I just need to sit down and type up some stuff. That's what takes me a lot of time. So anyway, I'm going to turn us down today and make a few announcements, and then we're going to be making the January card kits today. These are the things that are going to go out with when people purchase from me this month. These are some of the things that are going to go out, and I'm going to explain my specials to you for this month because I have a couple new ideas. How about that? Okay, so I'm going to turn this down, and bonus days start today, January 6th to February 2nd. Bonus days are fabulous because for every $50 you spend, you get a coupon worth $5. Now you have to keep track of your coupon codes, whatever it takes. Save the emails in a folder, write it down, make a list, because you have this, almost a full month to gather these coupon codes. So if you shop more than once, more than $50, if you do two $50 or do $100, you get two coupon codes, but you do have to have the coupon codes to redeem them. And you get to redeem them beginning February 3rd, the very next day, okay? February 3rd to February 28th. So almost the whole month of February you have to redeem them. If you don't redeem them during that time period, then they're just null and void, okay? You don't get to do it after the 28th of October. So you gather your coupon codes by purchasing, and hopefully you choose me to purchase through. For every $50 you get a $5 coupon, which you can apply in February to your purchases. Now you cannot apply it to paper pumpkin. I read that somewhere, but just your regular crafting purchases is what you can do with that. And speaking of paper pumpkin, this month for January, you have to subscribe, if you haven't already, by January 10th. Today is the 6th, okay? So you got 4 more days to subscribe. And this month it's going to be a Valentine's box filled with Valentine's things. You'll have stamps, you'll have inks, you'll have paper, you'll have cutouts. It'll be beautiful. So you might want to just try a 1-month subscription if you would like. You don't have to keep going. You can do longer than that. You can pause it anytime you want. You can stop it anytime you want, but you might really enjoy that. January 22nd to 23rd, which is coming up, they are doing a virtual card retreat. It's 7 hours a day, from 2 p.m. to 9 p.m. Mountain Time. Now you have to convert that to whatever your time zone is. So I live in the Pacific time zone, and so that'll be from 1 p.m. to 8 p.m. for me. And there's probably a dinner break in there somewhere for an hour, you know, and they usually have it run on the hour, but people don't use up their whole hour. They usually use maybe 45 minutes of an hour. So there's going to be 15 cards, and it is a little spendy. It's $165, but they send you all the stuff, okay? They send you all the stuff for the 15 cards. You need your own glue, you need your own ink, you know, or adhesive or whatever, maybe dimensionals, but they send you all this other stuff to make the cards. So, you know, it's a pretty cool deal. Now, um, it is now January, and today they're going to announce, January 6th, what the product of the month is. In December, it was this True Blue Floral designer series paper that you could get for only $5 when you spent $75 on a single order. So I heard through not exactly through Stampin' Up, but through some other demonstrators that they still had some left over. So for a while, maybe the first part of January, you know, these first week or so, you'll be able to choose if you want this one or the new one, which we have no idea what it is yet. I am pre-recording this, so it's not really January 6th yet to me. So we don't know until January 26th what that new product of the month is. But it's the same deal, $75 order, which you can stack on your bonus days too. You can get the new product of the month and get bonus day coupons and get Stampin' Rewards. All those things you can pile on top of each other. So there'll be a new product of the month, but while they have some of these, you can choose this if you want, and there is a prompt when you place your order online what you would like to choose. Okay. Product of the month, more information, blah 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 blah. My specials for this month, for January, of course, starting at $20, you get your Stampin' Rewards. Start earning 10% Stampin' Rewards. A $40 order, you're going to get a quarter package of DSP. It is retired, and I will be doing Valentine's themed DSP until I run out of it. I'll be giving that away and sending you a quarter package of retired DSP. Then of course your Stampin' Rewards. $50 order, you get a quarter package of the DSP retired, and while I have it, it will be Valentine's themed. And you get 4 card kits, 2 of each design, and we are going to be working on those today. So I'll be sharing those with you today. And you get your Stampin' Rewards. $75 order, you get your quarter package of DSP, which is retired, and 4 card kits and 2 of each design, and you get a new January 2026 PDF, and that features new products that goes live for you today. Brush with Beauty and Fragrant Layers is what it features, and I'll show you that one in just a second. So, like I said, the retired DSP will be Valentine's themed until I run out, but I do have like 3 packages of it from last year, so you know, I have a little bit. And then when I run out of that, I'll pick out some other retired DSP. I'm trying to clean out my craft room a little bit. I need room for new things, because you know what goes live today, January 6th? The new catalog. The new catalog goes live today. And I was going to show you the Valentine's. Now, they have Valentine's, they have Easter, they have mix and match specialty ephemera packs. This is, they always have these templates in every catalog. Look for the templates. On this catalog, the new catalog for January through April, the templates are on page 17. Here's some Valentine's paper that they have. They have all sorts. I ordered this big Happy Valentine's Day. I love that. I have that, and I'm going to be sharing that with you. the Lovely and Beautiful paper, I ordered that. This one, Lovely and Beautiful, ordered that. What else? Oh, here's some more Valentine's paper, and I got this, most of this sweet. There's a couple things I didn't get. I got the stamps, I got the dies that look like this. I got the embossing folder, and I forgot to order the paper, but I have ordered it now. I don't know why I forgot to order the paper, but I got all that, and I'm going to be doing some Valentine's things. Brush with, is it brush or what is it called? Nature Symphony. Sweet, yeah. Nature Symphony. I got this one. I thought this was beautiful. I love nature stuff because it can go feminine, it can go masculine. They have this really cool thing with gears that is just so different than anything I've ever seen before. I think this is really cool. Washi tape. We're going to be using a little washi tape today on this one from Greenery Lane. And they have stamps, they have dies, and they have this beautiful washi tape. And I'm going to be sharing some of that with you today for our card kits. You're going to get some of that. And that's just the this is the Valentine's DSP. This is a little bit different because it includes some stickers. So if you would like the Valentine DSP plus stickers, order this one that's on page 59. Okay, what else did I have marked? I'm not sure about that one. Okay, so that's a few of the things. I don't want to go through page by page. I know a lot of demonstrators do that. So this is your PDF. You don't get the product, but you do get all of the measurements and the cutting directions and all the things. And this is a feature of, I think I have pulled it out, yeah, of Fragrant Layers, okay, which is new, and it's available to you today. Okay, you can order Fragrant Layers today, and I just love these flowers, and then they have these beautiful green leaves and this paper and everything that goes with it. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous set. So that's the PDF. Remember, with a PDF, you get all the directions, and I email that to you directly when you have a qualifying order for the PDF, and then hopefully you order the beautiful supplies. But all my cards that I make, almost every one of them, you can use what you have. I mean, it's always nice to get new stuff. I love to get new stuff too, but you can always use what you have. And today we're going to start out. These are the card kits. You're going to get all of the supplies except for the ink, except for the adhesive, except for dimensionals. You know, you're going to get all the paper and everything cut to do 2 of these and 2 of these for my card kits for January. And I am featuring the Fragrant Layers in this one, the die cut right there. And, or maybe that, yeah, oh, I think I'm wrong. I think I'm sorry, it's Charming Day. And Charming Day, this is the die that goes with this, okay, sorry. Charming Day, the dies are available, but the stamps are retired for Charming Day. And I just love this set. So anyway, the dies are still available for this. And they have some great dies that go in this set. Okay, so that's what I used on the front of here, and I will cut that for you. I will cut all the paper for you, but you'll need to be able to stamp it and put it together. I'll even give you the little gems. Okay, those will come with this too. Now this one is using the Charming Day paper, which is still available. And it uses a little bit of the Greenery Lane of that washi tape that I just pointed out in the the catalog. And I liked it best on white. It turned out best on white. And it's like the washi tape we had earlier in December, maybe? Or no, it was earlier. It was in September, yeah. Anyway, I will cut out a couple of these leaves that will go with this set, okay, with those cards for you. And again, you'll need some stamps and some ink and some glue or tape or whatever you like to use to put your cards together. So we're going to get started on that today. We're going to do this one first, okay? And this is a nice little fun fold. This one's just more of a traditional fold, just a 10th fold card. So, like I said, I am cutting out of Charming Day for this, and then I'm using Everyday Happiness and Lost Lagoon for the rest of this. And Everyday Happiness, I love that paper. I've used it a lot, and it's still available. It's still available, which is, in my opinion, great news. So I don't have the measurements typed below. I have the products linked, but I don't have the measurements because these are the card kits. I'm going to show you what the measurements are, but these are the card kits I'm sending to you, so I will cut it for you. But the Lost Lagoon card base is 5.5 by 7.25. Okay, a little bit different. 5.5 by 7.25, scored at 4.25. Okay, so it's going to be it's going to have a little cutoff place here. Okay, then I will send you the Charming Day floral pattern all cut out for you. That will be done for you. You will get 3 iridescent pearls to put on there if you would like to. And they'll probably be just kind of maybe folded in here like that to protect them in the so look for them in your package. To do the focal point, to do this die, you know, if you happen to have Charming Day at home and you wanted to do it, it was about 3 by 4.5 to cut the focal point, okay, approximately. The inside is basic white, 4 by 5.25, and we're going to stamp on that, put that on the inside. Okay, and we have some flaps. Okay, this first flap, okay, has to go under our inside piece. So we don't want to put that inside piece on until we get the flap put on. So this flap is 4.25 by 4.25, so it's a square, but score it at 1 inch on one of those sides. Doesn't matter because it's gonna shorten it up on that one side. Then on top of that, we're going to put some Designer Series paper from Everyday Happiness, and this is 3 by 4, and that will fit right on top of that. Okay. Then we're going to have another flap that's going on top of this one, and this one is 2.25 by 3.5. And the DSP, this is cut wrong. How could that possibly be? Should be 2 by 3, and 2 by 3.25. How is that? Yeah, this is 2 by 4. I need to cut this down. Oops, real quick, fix it. 2 by 3.25. I was gonna say that's too big. There we go. Okay. Crisis averted by a simple cut. Ah, yes, there we go. And that goes on there. So this is 2 by 3.25. Okay. All right. And then this one goes on the left-hand side over here. And with Everyday Happiness or whatever you're using, I would advise 3 patterns of paper that coordinate like these do. This is one paper pack, and these are 3 patterns. Of course, they have the other sides that you could use, you know, but these, I like these sides the best. Okay, so this left side is 2 3/4 by 5 1/4, and I think that's where we're going to start today. And we'll be putting this inside piece on later because we want to put that folded edge first. So when you get your pack at home, I'm going to take my little stickies off, and hopefully I remember where everything goes, and now everything's cut correctly. It will make it so much easier, right? So much easier. So you get your card stock, and it's always a good idea to score it, or to go ahead and burnish it. It's already, it will be scored, but burnishing it really helps it lie nice and flat. And then I use glue most of the time, not all of the time, but most of the time, because I'm a slip and slide, hope I get it in place girl. And this doesn't really have an up and a down, or it's not directional. Should try to use big people words, right? And that just centers right on there. Okay. Then I am going to take my flap. So I have scored this at 1 inch, and I want this flap to be glued right on the edge in the center, and I want my folded edge to go against my cut edge right here. And I'm going to be putting my white paper inside of it, on top of it, to kind of cover it up. So if you'll open this flat, you want the glue or adhesive of choice to go right there. And you bend that, and you center, and you make sure that it's hitting that edge. Those 2 edges are together like that. And you might need to hold it down if you're gluing like I am. It'll slip for a minute. Okay, and then this piece is going to go right here. So I'm going to glue that on. And you'll get 2 of these cards and 2 of the other ones in the card kit for qualifying order. And remember, all qualifying orders are before tax, before shipping, before any redeemed coupons, Stampin' Up! Rewards, whatever it is you might have. Okay, so we put that on. Alrighty, so now we have that glued down, so now we can do the inside, which was 4 by 5 1/4, and it's going to go right on top. It's going to cover up that little piece that you see there and just look very seamless. And I used Pretty Peacock, or did I use the Lost? Maybe I used Lost Lagoon on this. Yeah, I think I did. And I picked Love and Hugs, which comes out of the Greenery Lane, which we're going to be using on the next card too. I picked Love and Hugs. It also has Wishing You Well, Here for You. I mean, you can stamp whatever you want to stamp, depending on your needs and what you want. I do want, though, since these are photopolymer stamps, you know, we're going strictly photopolymer from now on, and it really works better to stamp on a Stampin' Pierce mat. And I'm going to stamp this full strength. Tap, tap, tap. And I tap, tap, tapped myself right into some ink on the corner there. Didn't mean to do that. Sometimes, you know, enthusiasm. Okay, so I'm gonna stamp. I'm gonna stamp it down here in the corner. On the other one, I did it in the middle, and I used a card the other day that I'd stamped in the middle like this, and it got in my way of writing, so I kind of don't want to do that. I love this Stampin' Scrub. Couldn't remember the name for a minute. Stampin' Scrub. So you have a wet side and a dry side. And the wet side, you, every once in a while, like once a week, maybe twice a week, depending on how much you stamp, you do Stampin' Mist, which cleans your stamps really good. Now, it will kind of dry out and your stamps start to drag and they don't get clean. And to refresh it, I don't put fresh mist, Stampin' Mist on it every time. I put just some water from my water bottle. I just spray it on here and it refreshes my Stampin' Scrub so that it's ready to go again for me, which works great. So then I got a leaf. The leaf is out of the Greenery Lane. Okay, it's just a leaf down here. And then it also has some fill-in stuff, but I'm not going to use that. I'm just going to use the leaf pattern, and I'm going to stamp off because I like that lighter look behind my words, like it's kind of 3D. And so I'm just going to kind of stick it over there like that. So I stamped off my leaves. They looks like the leaves are behind, and of course I got some on my thumb, and now it's right there. Maybe we'll put a little decoration up there. Anyway, I like that look of it looking like the leaves are behind, or the image is behind and the sentiment is on top. I like that quite a bit. I use it a lot. And I'm going to, before I ruin anything else, try to get my hands clean. I'm sticking it in the ink and grab my Stampin' Scrub again. And I mark mine wet side, dry side, because you know what? I forget which is which because it looks exactly the same to me. So on the outside, I have wet on one side and dry on the other side so that I will remember that. Okay, now this goes inside my card. Now, when I put this stuff in my card, I do usually use Stampin' Seal, because it is nice and flat. Just 2 or 3 little strips. I mean, 2 strips would do it. I do 3 most of the time. And I try to center this. Okay. And I wonder if I have paper. Huh. I have some paper. See, I'm going to cover that up. That's driving me just a little bit nuts. So I know that's 4 inches wide, so I'm going to cut this 4 by 1/2 of an inch. I'm just going to make myself, I hope that's a 1/2 big enough. I think so. If not, I'll cut 3/4. 1/2. to have. Okay, let's see how that looks. Yes, I'm just going to cover my little smudge up with this. So I'm just going to put a little bit of seal on here. And I'm going to pretend like that never happened. They're going to think that was on purpose right there. Beautiful. Okay, so I got 2 flaps done, and here's my 3rd flap. And I'm going to put glue on this one. And I'm going to center it. There we go. And I just glued this on. I do shut these because I want this to go over a little bit. Didn't get that corner very good. I'm going to want it to go over a little bit, but not too far. So I'm just going to put some seal right here because I don't want to go over too far. There we go. Okay, so got boom, boom, boom. Okay, and of course this shows, but it's better than the smudge, right? All right. Oh, I should have done this before. Get out a new one. That was a little sticky. All right. Oh, I did dimensionals. That's what I did. Okay, not a problem. I thought, oh, I should have put the glue on to let it get tacky. But I used dimensionals on my little Charming Day floral arrangement. And I used mini dimensionals. I mean, in some places, large dimensionals would work. But the minis were just super handy with this. And you can put as many of these things on as you want. You want to make sure it is stuck down, and actually using dimensionals with a die like this, because it has these little textured cuts in it, and those little textured cuts, if you use glue, will seep out. I'm putting like a bajillion on here, aren't I? Bajillion and 1 right there. Okay. All right. So I'm just going to take my Take Your Pick tool and pull these off. And my computer's making a really hot sound with a fan motor, and I don't know why, because I have it sitting up off of the desktop, so it won't do that. I mean, I bought that thing just for that reason. Okay, so back to my card now, and I'm just gonna lay this down. Now, you can, if you want, put a sentiment on here. I decided not to put a sentiment on mine. And like I said, you're going to get these nice little iridescent pearls that are kind of pretty, and you can scatter those around wherever you would like to put them. I don't know. Anyway. And that's your card. You'll have enough stuff to do 2 of these, okay? I might even include a strip just in case you have a smudge too. I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, so that's card kit number 1, and you will get 2 of them, okay? Alrighty. Let me go with that one. and the iridescent pearls and everything else. So card kit number 2, I did change one thing about card kit number 2. We're going to do some embossing with this. So this starts out with again a Lost Lagoon base, and this one is 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. I'm going to set this over here for a moment because I want to do some burnishing because my card is just popping open and I don't want that, so I burnish that really good. Okay, and I think I'm going to be using Pretty Peacock ink this time with this one. I'm going to use the Pretty Peacock instead of Lost Lagoon with this one. So the card base, then you have some layers that you're going to put on, and you can go ahead and put on your first matte layer. You can glue it on, you can pop it up, whatever you would like to do. I'm going to pop mine up. I'm going to use regular size dimensionals to pop mine up. And this one is 4 by 5 1/4. Yes, here it is. 4 by 5 1/4, and this is Mossy Meadow. Remember, this will all be cut for you. Okay. So I did pop this layer up. Oops. And I usually put one in the middle so it won't sag. I don't like saggy cards. So you just take a look at this and center the top and the sides. Just don't press down right away. Right there. Okay. So I'm going to leave that alone for just a moment because I want to work on these layers. And I should have some other pieces. There they are. Okay. So you're going to have 2 pieces of petal paint, 3 3/4 by 5, 2 identical. One goes on the outside, one goes on the inside. Okay, it doesn't really matter, they're identical. So whichever way you would like to do that. Okay, but this layer, we're going to be using Floral Charm DSP, which will be cut for you. And in fact, I ordered some more because I'm running out of that, and it's available. So the bottom piece, as you can see, is 3 3/4 by 2 5/16. Again, I will be cutting that for you, and that's going to be going at the bottom. And then this is DSP. It comes in the Floral Charm suite, and it's the Mossy Meadow, and it's not exactly like the Mossy Meadow cardstock. I mean, they look a lot alike, but this one, when you get it home, you'll be able to see that it has some striations and different, lights and darks in it. Okay, that goes next, and that's 1 inch by 3 1/4 inches. Then you have another 1 inch by 3/4 of an inch, and this is also the DSP from Floral Charm. In fact, it's the other side of this, and it's the Pretty Peacock, and it has some very light little leaves on it, and that's going to go on top. So what I didn't do on the first one that I want to do on this one is, after I glue these on, I want to emboss this layer all together. Okay, so I'm going to put on my top and my bottom to begin with, and I'm definitely using glue because I want to slip it around a little bit. and I'll put my middle one on last. You can see those, the pretty peacock on the back of this DSP. And that's the way it goes. So I'm going to do a little higher, I think, because I want these to be pretty much the same border. I mean, just eyeballing it, I'm not measuring it, but I want it to be about the same. And then I put my middle piece, I just center the middle piece in there, like this. And that's my middle piece. Now I'm going to put a couple other pieces on top of this, but what I thought would look pretty nice is to emboss this, and I have the hard one. I have the circles, I have the dotted circles, and I have those leaves from that we got in the fall, and I thought since these had flowers on them that maybe the leaves would look good. So I'm going to put this in my embossing folder, and this is a 3D embossing folder. So with a 3D embossing folder, it tells you how to do regular embossing on your #1 plate. It shows you cutting instructions, embossing for regular embossing folders, and for 3Ds. And this is this 3D. So I'm taking all the other plates off. I'm just putting this on. Then I'm putting a #4 plate on top of that. And I'm going to run this sandwich through my emboss machine. And that has a great effect. I do like that better. What do you think? Can you see the embossing? So it's embossed, oops, that's upside down. It's embossed everything. It's embossed the background, it's embossed the pieces that were glued on there. And now we're going to just glue these onto the card. So it has the card base, it has mat #1 and mat #2. We glued our some of our images or our pieces of designer series paper on, and it's always a good idea when you've embossed something to glue or use dimensionals. The Stampin' Seal sometimes doesn't get in the crevices quite as well as either glue or dimensionals. And since we've already used some dimensionals, I'm going to use some more in just a minute. I'm just going to glue this down. Okay. Then I will die cut for you, Lost Lagoon from the Nested Essentials. This is the largest flag die from Nested Essentials. Nested Essentials look like this. I'm going to use the largest flag die for you to put down. And so this just goes down flat. And remember, that in this card kit, you'll get 2 of these cards too. And of course, this Lost Lagoon color goes back to match the card base. Okay. Then you will have a petal pink sentiment strip that I will cut for you. And we are going to put Happy Birthday on this sentiment strip. And we're going to use Pretty Peacock to do that. And this one is from the Charming Day. and it is, so it's a red rubber stamp. I don't really need the Stampin' Pierce mat, but I do check it out. See, I'm getting edges right there, so I want to be really careful about that. And I don't have my handy dandy Q-tips in here right now. I don't know who took those out of here. They shall remain nameless, but they're under the age of 10. Okay, so I'm going to put my happy birthday on here. And when you're using a red rubber stamp, go straight down, don't rock at all. You can get away with a little bit of rocking with a photopolymer stamp, but not with red rubber. Okay. And we are going to pop that up on dimensionals. And we're going to cut some of these. So that's going to go up here on some dimensionals. I'm just going to put some on there right now and get ready. But I'm not going to pull the backs off yet, because I want to show you about these little leaves I'm going to cut for you out of the Greenery Lane. Yes, Greenery Lane, that's what it is. So this comes with stamps and it comes with dies. And the dies, of course, work with the stamps, but they also work with the washi tape. Okay, and we'll close this before Sue sticks her finger in it and makes another mess. Hopefully I'm demystified there. So what I've got here is, I have garden green, light and dark garden green, and I have light and dark Lost Lagoon. And so I really want to pick out the Lost Lagoon ones for this card to match. So this one is going to go on there, and my problem when I did these is my sticky tape that I usually use did not work very well. I'm going to see how a sticky note does. I might have to use a regular tape. So I just put my dies on. I might have to do, I don't know. No, I want to do both of it at the same time if I can. Run through. See, this is so slick, the surface of the washi tape. And it didn't have that problem with the other washi tape. I mean, it had the same kind of surface, but the die was all one die, and it would stay put where it was supposed to stay put. This one, these are individual dies, and it's a little harder. I'm going to have to use some tape to get that to stay down, because it's just, it is persnickety, let me tell you, persnickety. See, it's even slipping now. And I'm going to run that on the back. My tape is going around the back. I think. I'm going to do it over here. And then I have to put another, my sandwich for this is the 1, 2, and 2 plates to run it through. And I'm going to run it through right over here on my little Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, because it shakes my table something fierce. And there we go. We've got a catch. hope these cut out correctly. They're just really, really hard to get them to catch right on top of, cut right on top of where, well, they did semi-okay. Okay. So I have that one and that one. Put this one back. And I see that I cut out a dark one. I really wanted a light one. I'm going to cut this one out. I'll try to pay attention better when I do that for you. I'm still going to have to take this down. And if you come up with any better ideas on how to get this to stick, I'd love to hear it. Because I am just having a terrible time getting it to stick. I need this. Alright, so I think I have two of the lighter ones. Yeah, that's a lighter one. Okay. And I'll put this back on my magnet. And so I have all these other ones that I can still cut out, you know, for other things. And also I'll just leave those on there. It's not a problem. So then, going back to my card, so I'm going to send you 2 leaves, because then we'll have 3 elements on the front. I don't know, maybe it would look okay with a darker leaf. Oh, I kind of like that. Okay, I kind of like the darker leaf. So I use my mini dimensionals on this too to make this work. And I just stuck some on here. You could probably get away with the big ones on this one. So I popped this larger leaf up on the left hand side, and I'm going to glue the other leaf. And you won't have any problem gluing it down, because on the other side of it, see what you do with the washi tape is you just take a piece of white cardstock and stick it on there. So I'm just going to stick that on there. And then on the back of this, there is no slick surface. It's just cardstock. Ooh, way too much glue. That's a new glue. Way too much glue. Where's my little rag? Yeah. Okay, and then I just stick him right over there, flat. Okay? And then I stick my greeting. And I was thinking about this greeting thing, because I don't know what greeting you're going to stamp and what size. And I might just give you a piece of the petal pink, and you can decide how to cut it. And I mean, you can just cut it with your paper cutter even. And because you might decide something different. This was out of Charming Day 2. The Happy Birthday was out of Charming Day, but that stamp set, you can't get it anymore. So on the inside, I could stamp just about anything I want. I can do this Love and Hugs thing. I can do my leaf stamp again. Just about anything. So I think I'm going to stay with the pretty peacock. And now I'm back to photopolymer, so I definitely need this back. And I always like to put a piece of paper on there so I can stamp and see what I've got. going. So I'm going to stamp off, or stamp once over here, and then have second generation. I think I'm going to put 2 on there. Okay, something like that. That's what I'm going to do. I'll clean that off in a minute. And since I have love and hugs already out, and you can pick whatever you want, of course, depending on what kind of card you're making. And I'll put this full strength, my love and hugs, down in the corner, because this works better for me for writing. Now, if you don't want a lot of room to write, put it smack dab in the middle, and you can write dear so and so at the top, and you can write, you know, happy birthday, hope you get well soon, whatever, you know, something very brief, and have that at the bottom. Me, I'm usually writing, you know, a note. When I send a card to people, I write a note. So let's close that and bring this back in. Remember, 2 of each. Open this card. Gets that sticky. And I'm just going to put 2 strips on here. You really don't need more than that. Center that. Okay. So that's the happy birthday card. So you get 2 of these, all the ingredients to make 2 of these. Okay. And you will get all the ingredients to make 2 of these in January for your orders. Okay. And those orders that I explained to you. So you start getting card kits at the $50 threshold, okay? 50 and up. Anything of 50 and above, you start getting the card kits. And at the $40 level, you get a quarter package of DSP. It's going to be Valentine's themed. As long as I have Valentine's paper available, you will get that in the mail too, okay? So those are our card kits for this month. I hope you like those. Turn the camera up for a second. Thanks for sticking with me all this time and letting me explain the card kits to you. And now you have all the details should be below me if you're watching me on YouTube, and above me if you're watching me on Facebook. All the links and things to the products will be there. And I am pretty sure my granddaughter has a basketball game next Tuesday. I was going to look at my calendar. I'm pretty sure she does. That's the 13th. Yeah, she has a basketball game. So that'll be pre-recorded, as will some of my other fill-ins for when I'm having my surgery and doing all that hoorah, you know, all the things we have to do to keep going, right? Because I got to keep going to those basketball games and doing all the stuff and babysitting my grandchildren and playing with them. I'm excited because 3 or 4 of them are coming over tomorrow morning, and I bought a new game for them to play. So I'm excited that it's a game that we can all play together. So anyway, thanks for joining me. And if you have any questions, feel free to contact me, because my contact information is always included. My phone number, my email address, sue@sneakerstamping.com. You can email me, you can call me, you can text me, whatever you need help with. If you need help setting up an account, I would be glad to do that for you. Just whatever you need. If you need advice on something, I would try my best. I mean, you know, I would try my best to help you figure out whatever you need. So I will see you next Tuesday at 5:30. It'll be pre-recorded, but we will see each other anyway. And happy stamping until then. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.